Hi guys, it's Mark Zicree, Mr. Sci-Fi, also known as Mark Zicree of Space Command. And I'm here in my wonderful mansion apartment on the Hampstead High Street in London. We were able to find this amazing rental for a few days, and it's just spectacular. My friend Ron Dumont used to live in Hampstead and put us up in his guest house, so I love this area. It's a very, very beautiful, and it's just great. I love Hampstead. And so I just wanted to bring you up to date on everything that's been going on. You saw my little alien tape video from Madame Tussauds, which was great fun, and thanks to Dave Edison for putting it all together, our wonderful editor. We're flying back in the next 2 days back to LA. We flew here specifically for meetings on the Lord Peter Hayne project, and for those who don't know what I'm talking about, basically what Elaine and I are doing now is we're writing, directing, and producing various film and TV projects, and also writing books. And Space Command is my main project, and Elaine is helping me with Space Command. But our goal is to sell a number of shows to the major networks and VOD platforms, and basically that's what we're embarked upon. So we, as part of that, from pitching Space Command here in London, thanks to my friend Frank Spotnitz, who opened a lot of doors for me. Frank, as you may know, was the showrunner on X-Files. He then became the creator and showrunner of Man in the High Castle. He's now going to be doing Warhammer. Really an amazing guy, a terrific guy, and he's been advising me the last few days because we flew to London to meet with our partners to basically move into the next phase, which is Elaine was hired to write the screenplay of Subversive, which is about Lord Peter Hayne's family. They were activists against South Africa, and then he became a major activist here in the UK, and then from that became a member of Parliament. Now he's in the House of Lords, and he's a worldwide peace activist, amazing man. So it's about the continuity of that family struggle for peace and justice. And amidst bomb threats, their friends being hanged, them being thrown out of South Africa, etc., etc., etc. Peter being put on trial when he was around 19 for conspiracy, all of these things. And on trumped-up charges, bombs being mailed to the family, all sorts of stuff. And so Elaine and I are producers on that, along with our producing partners here in the UK. Lord Peter Hayne, who's in the House of Lords, is another of our partners on this. And so we flew to London to meet with Peter, meet with our partners, basically strategize in terms of taking it into Netflix, who else? Amazon, Sky TV, BBC, and Apple. So, because the cool part is, see what I'm doing, this all relates to Space Command, and it's late at night here, by the way, but, and my team back in LA, it's daytime there, but they're actively working, they're editing, doing visual effects shots, as is Tobias Richter in Germany for us, and on and on. I mean, it's cooking. So basically right now, we're functioning with our producing team here in London, while my producing team back in LA is busy at work, while my VFX guy in Germany is working too. So it's thank God for the internet. Thank God for the being able to work with the world. But my primary goal is to sell Space Command, and then from that build an empire of terrific science fiction and fantasy shows, and also loop in Elaine's projects, which some of them have fantasy elements, some of them are more reality-based. They're all dramas. But the whole thing with the Lord Peter Hayne project is the moment that sells, our ability to sell Space Command becomes enormously easier because we have a show on the air. And that will make it much easier to get treated with credibility, because amazingly, you would think, oh, well, Mark Zicree can call who he wants and he can have meetings with anyone and he's treated with great respect. I'm treated with great respect by my fans, and I'm extremely grateful for that. I'm treated with great respect by my friends who are showrunners, who are the creators of some of the major shows of the last several decades. But the people who do not treat me with respect are the agents, the managers, and the network execs are friendly, but they're not yet to a point where they're saying, yes, let's buy this. And we're hoping to turn that around within the next few weeks. Now, Elaine, basically, Lord David Putnam, who produced Chariots of Fire and many other great films, he read Elaine's script. He said, this is great. This should be a mini-series, not a feature. So Elaine immediately turned it around in a matter of 3 or 4 weeks, rewrote the 2-hour feature as the first 2 hours of a 4-hour miniseries, and then outlined the rest of the miniseries. Amazing. And it's because we have TV muscles. We can do that kind of stuff, which to many seem seems miraculous. Certainly, as screenwriters who can't write a sentence in 4 weeks, but and not to diss them, of course. But so we met with Peter. Everyone's read the script on our team. They love it, the new script, the miniseries script. So now we've been reaching out to Netflix. We're submitting the material to Netflix. And etc. But at the same time, one of our producers is very friendly with a major movie and TV producer. And I can't mention what his credits are, but I can assure you that you have all seen and loved the films he has produced. So we're now seeing if he's going to come aboard this project. And he's already said that he's happy to be a champion for this project, but now we're going to see if he's going to come aboard as a full partner. Either way, we're moving forward. Either way, we now have kicked open the doors we need to kick open. So that's what's going on with the Peter Hain project. But in the meantime, with Space Command, we've basically finished most of the first hour. We're doing the final little grace notes and moving into the second hour and continuing to do visual effects to finish the second hour. We're then going to be shooting the rest of the second 2-hour story. We shot 40 minutes of it. We've now reached out to Ferran Tahir and John Hennigan about their availability. We were originally going to shoot that section in October. Now we've pushed it to January because in the meantime we're shooting scenes with Nichelle Nichols. We're going to be shooting some new scenes with Mira Furlan. I want to start shooting many more scenes with our favorite science fiction actors. And at the same time, I'm creating the Showrunners Network and my partners, and where I'm creating 6 series with 6 major genre showrunners, legends. And so, Rockne O'Bannon and I mentioned that we're creating Sweet Haven as the first of those. I'm already talking to George Takei and Mike Harney and Barbara Bain about the potential of being in it. There are many other actors I want to be in that show, and I'm engaged in conversations with them. Renee Aubergenois and Armin Shimmerman and Jonathan Frakes and Gates McFadden and on. Just tons of astonishing actors and actresses. And but then the second project we're now embarking upon in the Showrunners Network is with Mark Ferguson, Huck Ostby, and we've narrowed it down to 2 possible projects, and I think I know which one it's going to be. The idea is we lay out the entire series and then outline the pilot, and then I write or co-write the pilot with my partners, and then we go to our audience to finance all 6 pilots into production and then take out the 6 shows as a slate of 6 shows to the major VOD platforms. No one has ever done this, but it's extremely exciting, and these are the shows that these people are dying to make that they don't want interference. And so this is a way to reach out to the fans directly. Now, ultimately, the goal we have is that we want to build an audience of millions where we can just say, hey, we want another season of such as Space Command or Sweet Haven, and you can pay $20-$30 and get a season. And then, but you need millions of people for that. Right now, we're at the level of thousands of people who are bankrolling us. And again, we need to raise considerable money between now and January to finish the second 2-hour story. And we're shipping out DVDs of the first hour with tons of extras, DVDs and Blu-rays, and downloadable content. Looks like it'll be October, and then as soon as we finish the second hour, we'll send that to all the people who've already ordered it and put in pledges and all of that. We very much want to honor our commitments and send everything to everyone. But right now, ray guns are being made, creatures are being made, alien spaceships, the interiors are being built, visual effects shots are being generated. We're casting. We're ramping up big time, and I've bought some spacesuits and some other items, spaceship chairs, spaceship consoles, to build out our sets so that we can go right from Forgiveness into the third 2-hour story, The Great Solar War, and then right from there into the next one, which is Empire, and the next one, which is Harvester, and the next one, which is Mousetrap, these are all 2-hour stories, and it'll form a 12-hour season and then beyond. And I've also written the prequel story, which we're doing as a graphic novel, and we'll also be recording as an audio play with our stars. And so that'll be in the next few weeks, I think, that I'll finish the radio script. We already have the graphic novel being drawn. And but so this is where you guys come in, of course, because if you buy shares in Space Command, if we sell, I think it's around 25 shares in Space Command at $7,500 each, we can roll camera and finish the 2 hours. We can have all of it in the can, which is vital. So if you've been wanting to buy, a share or 2 shares or 3 shares or more, we can we can roll camera. And so it's $7,500 per share. You just email me at markzickery@gmail.com or call me at 323, or I should say +1 323 363 1259, and I will send you the information. And say it's very simple and very straightforward, and you get a percentage of my net profits in producers' net profits in the first 4 episodes of Space Command. So it's a really sweet deal, and you can also come on the set. You can be part of it. You're part of our world. It's really an amazing thing, and beyond that, you're in at the ground floor. I mean, imagine if you could have bought shares in Star Trek or shares in Battlestar Galactica. I mean, it's just no one's doing this, but I trust my audience, and I really love you guys, and this is all possible thanks to you. None of this would be happening if not for you. And I mean, we get to hang out at the House of Lords. We get to be in this great place in Hampstead in London, but that's not what we're doing it for at all. We're doing it for you. We're doing it for you because you're the same as me. You know, I get thrilled at buying a spacesuit or building a spacesuit. And again, we have the Spacesuit Contest. If you want to build spacesuits for us, if you want to build sets or props, if you want to make costumes, I mean, you know, it takes a universe, as I often say. But at the same time, to be able to work with Nichelle Nichols, to be able to reach out to such amazing people as Gigi Edgley and J.G. Hertzler and Ethan Phillips and Armin, and to talk to George Takei again about working again together, and just phenomenal stuff. And again, if there's a science fiction actor that you love, maybe from Serenity or maybe from Stargate or whatever, Battlestar Galactica, let me know, because I want to cast those actors. I very much would love to work with Edward James Olmos, or you name it, insert name here. I love those actors. I love those shows. So in fact, I've been in touch with Keir Delay to see if I can shoot with him, because I would love to. I've met him, and we've had a very nice conversation. So it's just a phenomenal opportunity. Also, I'm in conversation with Diane O'Bannon, who's Dan O'Bannon's widow, on some of his unmade projects. He wrote Alien and Total Recall and wrote and directed Return of the Living Dead. Sadly, he's deceased, but I've just read one of his projects that is so now. It's so commenting on the current moment. It is so astonishing, and it's just revolutionary and controversial and exciting. And so I'm talking to Diane about seeing whether we can make that as a TV show. And I know we can, but hopefully she'll let me. And I've been in touch with Ray Bradbury's kids and Rod Serling's family on some projects I want to do relating to their body of work. Also, I'm reaching out to George R.R. Martin and Ron Moore and many of my other friends to see if they want to collaborate. It's going to be 6 shows on the Showrunners Network, but that won't stop me from doing Space Command. My plan now is to shoot the entire first season of Space Command, and when the networks and VOD platforms decide to jump in and buy the show and be our partners, fine. But right now, my goal is to continue raising money via crowdfunding, via selling shares, and continue shooting, because we'll build audience. And once we get to millions of fans, then first of all, definitely a network's going to buy it, a VOD platform, Disney or Netflix or Amazon, but with the understanding that we're already a train on the tracks. So they can't screw it up, they can't ruin it, they can't be dumb the way so many networks have been. So many of our favorite shows have gotten ruined. And, I needn't name names, but we all know where you'll watch a show that might be a reboot of something or a sequel to something, and you go, my God, they don't get it. They just don't get it. And it's a shame, but that's because they don't love it the way we love it. They don't understand. They see it as product, not as art. Or, we've all been changed by science fiction. We've all had, we are who we are because of science fiction making us better people. Whether it's Battlestar Galactica or Star Wars or Star Trek, any of them, 2001, our minds were expanded, our hearts were opened because of this great genre that we all, or it may have been a book. It may have been a book by Ray Bradbury, like Something Wicked This Way Comes, or The Martian Chronicles, or Fahrenheit 451, or something by Heinlein, or Arthur C. Clarke, or Tolkien. They came before us, and they laid the tracks that have led to the wonderful, wonderful era of science fiction TV and movies that we're in now, that we've been in for several decades now. When I was a kid, the top grossing films were not science fiction and fantasy and horror. They were mainstream films, and then Ben-Hur or whatever. And then all of a sudden, it started to change. 2001 was really the game changer, and Star Trek was really the game changer. And then from then on, we started to gain mainstream acceptance and money, and hitting, billions of dollars in revenue. Not me personally, though certainly the shows I've written for have made billions, and I'm very grateful for that. But moving forward, please, if you can buy Space Command shares, it's really meaningful. I do not want to have to pull the plug in January on the shoot. We're building the sets, we're building the creatures, their actors are getting ready, we're making the costumes, but I have to sell 20, 25 shares, and if that's not cooking along, I have to then launch another Kickstarter campaign, which I prefer not to do because I really want to shoot stuff, get it to the fans, get it to the audience. Really continue on the head of steam we've built, and but it's all up to you. Because I can't self-finance at this level. But I can do things like fly to England for meetings. I can do things like meeting the fans at the various conventions I've gone to, New York Comic Con and Worldcon and San Diego Comic Con and World Fantasy Con and so forth. But that's how it works. But I'm again, my number is 323-363-1259. I'm very happy to talk to anyone who wants to help move this project along. And we're going to have a premiere in the coming year. We're going to have the Space Command convention, a one-day Space Command convention in LA. There's a lot coming. And by the way, if anyone's in Duluth, we're going to be showing the first hour of Space Command at a TV festival in the next few weeks, so you can meet me at Duluth. And I may be going to World Fantasy Con if I can fit it into the schedule. But we're definitely going to be shooting more scenes in October and November, and then shooting the rest of Forgiveness in January. So that's a little of it. I mean, there's an incredible concept art that we're getting now, incredible designs, incredible work. I met with, in New Jersey, I met with Steve Diffendini, who was the wonderful art teacher who built, with the high school kids in New Jersey. They put on the Alien play, the Alien high school play, the entire movie of Alien, built everything from scratch. So now they're going to be working on Space Command and building props for us. And of course, we're mentoring them, we're helping them in every way we can. And so that's something that I very much want to do. In fact, one of the things I've been thinking about doing is starting a scholarship for those kids, where we can maybe put in a few thousand and help them make their dreams come true. And that'll be something that we can ongoingly talk about. But so that's sort of the major stuff for now. But we've basically completed the Nichelle Nichols scene. We're going to be letting you see that very soon. As you know, I met her when I was 10, when she was on Star Trek, and so it was a dream come true now to do a scene, write and direct a scene with her. We have people just working full time around the clock for us now, and they're doing phenomenal work. And beyond that, we're just cooking along. We're just moving forward and meeting with Rockne O'Bannon. He's now executive producer on Evil, which is the new show by the creators of The Good Wife and The Good Fight. And yet he's taking the time. He's really prioritizing the show that we're creating because he loves it. He's very excited about this new model where the audience and the creator of the show collaborate to make the show a reality. And you're going to love what we're doing. I mean, we have a new scene in Space Command. We finished with Doug Jones and Bob Picardo and Mira Furlan aboard the alien ship in flight in the pilot. I think you're really going to love it. And we're working on the Battle on Titan that we shot the other week, doing visual effects on that, finishing that. And it just continues. It's a dream come true. It's a great life, but it's also a great life because it's authenticity. It's funny, the man we're renting this amazing apartment from, his daughter saw a video of me online, and so she knew who I was. He introduced me to someone, and he said, "This is Mark Zickery. He's a famous science fiction writer. My daughter saw him on YouTube, and I watched his Mr. Sci-Fi channel, and he said to me, 'It's all about authenticity, isn't it?' And I said, 'Yes, it is,' because I come from the heart, as does Elaine, as does all of our team. We're doing this because we love it, and you can tell. I'm not punching a time clock. I'm not filling someone else's desires for what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm doing what I want to be doing, and what you want to see, and what I want to see. I mean, Harlan Ellison and Ted Sturgeon and Richard Matheson and George Clayton Johnson and Ray Bradbury and Guillermo del Toro and all my mentors and friends, who inspired me and helped me become who I am now. They come from passion. They're not doing it because it's paying a paycheck. It helps to have money, of course, but that's not why they're doing it. They're doing it because they wake up and they say, I have an idea for something wonderful. Ray Harryhausen was another one of those. Some of you know I was partnered with him on some of his unmade projects that sadly we didn't get to make. But you know, to work with people of this caliber, to learn from them, it's magic. It's a miracle. It's a gift. And you know, I can't tell you how much it means to me for you to be helping and making this happen. So anyway, so that's about it for now. If you want to build a spacesuit, we have the Spacesuit Contest going, the new phase, the second phase of it. If you're in cosplay and can spread the word about that contest, or in DIY, or the maker movement, any of that stuff, please reach out to me, because we're not getting the word out. If you want to spread the word about Space Command, if you want to, I mean, for instance, if you're a subscriber to Mr. Sci-Fi and can just get one of your friends to subscribe to it also, if we can double, right now we're at about 26,000, if we can make that 50,000 and then 100,000 subscribers, if we can get millions of viewers. We've already had millions of views, and I'm very grateful for that, but if we can get millions of viewers to see the Space Command pilot and love it, we're at like 99% thumbs up on that pilot. It's amazing. There's no show on TV that would get that kind of response, and we are. So now we just have to get the powers that be to wake up and smell the roses. but it's you know, that's what this game is about. This is what this life is about. I'm very glad to be in this life and in this world. You know, there's a woman, Michelle Costa, who's a producer. We brought her aboard the Peter Hain project, and I think we're going to be bringing her aboard many of our other projects. And she said, you know, one of the things so wonderful about it, she said, I don't know anyone like you and Elaine. She said, you're so enthusiastic, you're so passionate, you know, and it's true. I'm not jaded, I'm not cynical, and I'm not burnt out. I wake up with ideas. I wake up with scenes I want to write. I wake up with things I want to share. You know, there's a scene, you know, that I want to do with Keir Delay. There's a scene with J.G. Hertzler. There's, you know, we're casting a kid to play the young Billy Mummy, his character, Greg Massey, where it just goes on and on and on. It just grows. So I think I've talked long enough, but I really wanted to take the time to share with you what we're doing, where we're going, how you can be part of it. And you know, we have a Patreon account, so if you can't do $7,500, if you can do $20 a month to help me do Mr. Sci-Fi, if you can do 50 or 100. And if you're a fan of something I've written, like let's say you're a fan of He-Man and want to throw, you know, a few $100 my way and say, can you send me some He-Man stuff? I can send you scans of my scripts. I can send you scans of my outlines from He-Man or from Smurfs or you know, Captain Power or Real Ghostbusters or any of the many shows I've written for, the pitches that I did for Star Trek The Next Generation that didn't sell or didn't move forward. Because for the first year on Star Trek The Next Generation, every producer I pitched to wanted to buy at least 2 of the things I was pitching and then got fired before they could. It happened with Burt Armus, it happened with David Gerrold, it happened with Tracy Torme. And finally, when Michael Piller was installed, they bought, you know, First Contact from me. And then, of course, on DS9 they bought Far Beyond the Stars. But, you know, it was... yeah, it was just, I was the right place at the right time, and I'm very grateful for that. And now I'm in the right place at the right time, and you're my partner, so we're all in the right place at the right time, creating something wonderful that we can share with everyone. So that's about it for now. I'll be posting more very soon, and I'll probably also show you some of the cool books I bought here in London, some really cool stuff. And but that's about it for now. So thanks from London. I'll be back in LA in the next couple of days, but thrilled to be on this journey with you. That's it. So subscribe to Mr. Sci-Fi if you haven't. Tell your friends. And I'm also on Facebook and Twitter, and we're now on the other platform, whatever it is. You know, Tumblr. No, not Tumblr. They keep changing every day. I'm sure you guys know what it is. It's late. I'm tired, but that's it for now, guys. Oh, one last thing. This is my Terminator shirt that I bought in London. They have great science fiction shirts here. I'll be showing you more of the shirts in days to come. And if you haven't watched the previous video posting from the Alien Experience at Madame Tussauds, please do. It's a keeper. It's really fun. And that's about it for now. So we'll talk again next time, guys. Bye.